Hello everybody, by Jerry Kamaroo. This is Extinction Rebellion, South Australia, coming to you from Eora, so-called Sydney. We're here today to evict the Centre for Independent Studies because of their decades-long attacks on anyone trying to curtail the power and influence of the fossil fuel industry. Before I start, let's be clear that today we're taking action on the lands of the Gadigal people, part of the Eora Nation. We acknowledge First Nations peoples of this land. We acknowledge they've always been harshly and violently repressed by the colonial and corporate systems that we brought here. We offer our respect to elders past and present as we face the climate crisis. We honour them as the first custodians. Country was never ceded. So here we've got an action started. Let's look at what's happening. We've got a rebel starting to paint on the front of the building. Okay, we're also posting up eviction notices. We're evicting the Centre for Independent Studies from this building. Those will be posted so you can read them in full. Going inside, there's some rebels inside. Here we are, we've got messages being put on the foyer of the building. CIS is Centre for Independent Studies. We've got a banner going up. The CIS is part of the Atlas network. They're fossil fuel enablers. They're peddlers of fossil fuel propaganda. So I'm just going to go back outside and have a look at what's going on. Got a police liaison talking to the security guard. Got a crowd building up. So CIS is Centre for Independent Studies equals Atlas lies. Climate lies dressed as truth. Atlas network selling climate collapse. The CIS is part of the global Atlas network. They're one of the Australian nodes of that network. We have 7 of those in Australia. Okay. Got a rebel trying to climb a tree here, but it's not quite possible. Okay, and here we've got another banner just been posted up. Centre for Independent Studies is part of the Atlas network. They deliver fossil fuel propaganda. So the tree was too hard, that presented too much of a problem. It's okay. Do it from the ground, I reckon. I'll just have a quick look inside, see what's happening. So we're delivering notices of eviction. Alongside all the lifts in the building. On the walls. We have a message on the floor. CIS equals Atlas Network, fossil fuel dollars, climate lies. So why the CIS? They act as a node of the oil and gas funded Atlas Network while claiming to be independent. It has run a decades-long disinformation racket masquerading as a research institute dressing up climate denial to look like respectable scholarship. The centre demands equal airtime for extreme neoliberal talking points despite the total absence of popular support for their opinions. It is expert at cloaking oligarchy in the language of freedom. The Atlas Network has spent years labelling climate activists as terrorists and demanding that governments crack down on activists and protesters by using punitive anti-protest laws. If you want to read more about the Atlas Network, have a look in the comments of this live stream. There should be some information posted there. So just repeating, this is Extinction Rebellion South Australia. We're paying a visit to the big smoke, Eora, so-called Sydney. We're disgusted by what's going on. The 7 nodes of the Atlas Network that are in Australia have been working for years, absolute years, to disguise true science as a problem. They've been engaged in climate denialism. They've been muddying the waters. So I'll just have a look here what's happening. Okay. Oh look, we asked Tom Switzer to come down and pay us a visit. Tom Switzer is Executive Director of the Centre for Independent Studies. Tom's come here to help us read between the lines. He has a radio show called Between the Lines. Tom's actually showing us what it really means. This is between the lines. Delay action to keep us very wealthy. On behalf of his donors, he does that. Ignore what you see. Climate fear is a wokest conspiracy. This is coming from groups like the Centre for Independent Studies, from the IPA in Australia. There are 7 of them. The Atlas Network writes the playbook. The nodes in Australia. Oh look, private privilege pays. Yes, that's exactly what's going on. That's why they're doing this. It's for their money. So we've got some paint bombs going up. Yep, one's hit the window. This one I like. Ignore experts. What you see is not happening. They try and have us believe that climate change is not real. That climate change is not happening. They spent years dressing up their fake research, their opinions. They dress it up as scholarly research. Okay, so we've got some bombs being thrown up at the windows. They're on the first floor. It's a secluded enclave. No one can get in there. Tom Switzer, you're the guy that runs this. You're running a charity. You're registered as a charity. You claim to be supporting Indigenous people, First Nations, LGBTQI people, children, and we know none of it is true. Your real reason is to undermine anybody who tries to do anything that slows down fossil fuels. Delay action to keep us very wealthy, says Tom. That's exactly true. That's what they're doing. The longer they delay, the more fossil fuels they can sell. Thank you, Tom. We'll see how it's going up on the windows. Actually, I'm just going to go inside and have a look, see how they're going there. Sorry if this all seems a bit random, a bit messy.
This is what Atlas does.
This building has to be cleaned by someone else, and it's never the organization, you know.
No.
Here we are. If you're watching, here's the Centre for Independent Studies phone number. Give them a call. Tell them we'd like to talk to them. We'd love it if they came down here. 02 Sydney 9438 4377. Here we are. CIS equals climate lies. Extinction Rebellion. So just to recap everybody, this is Extinction Rebellion South Australia. We're in Sydney today. We're here to call out the lies, the dissemination of false scholarship. They don't do any real research. They just repackage opinions. They repackage things from the fossil fuel industry. So we've got more messages going on here. They certainly know we're there. Stuff on the window. So Extinction Rebellion South Australia comes to the big smoke. And forgive me if this is not a great live stream. I'm new to this, and I'm not great, and I'm nervous. So we'll see how we're going. There's a big mess all over the footpath. I'm going to go up to one of these eviction notices shortly when our rebels finish writing what she's doing. So folks, today is the start of COP28. That's being held in Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. We know it's going to be a waste of time. The ABC News this morning reported that Dubai is seen by the UAE government as an opportunity to increase fossil fuels, to expand fossil fuels. They see this as a fossil fuel conference. So this is absolute bullshit, and we're here to call that out. If you believe that too, if you want to be part of that, there are actions happening from today. This is the first action in Climate Cop-Out. Come to Sydney and join us. There are a lot of people doing things in Sydney. It's running till Sunday, so 4 days. Finishes on the 3rd of December. Then, still within the COP 2-week period, head on down to Melbourne, Naarm, for 5 days of rebelling there from the 5th to the 10th of December. You should join us. There's plenty of people, there's plenty of roles. Come on and join us. And excuse me, I'll just turn my page over. Extinction Rebellion South Australia has actions planned in Adelaide. Come and join us down there. Check all your socials for what's going on during this next 2-week period. No doubt there's plenty of others happening around the country. Have a look at what's going on. If you want to know more about the Atlas Network, join up to the webinar chaired by Scott Ludlam, featuring Dr. Jeremy Walker, who's done a lot of work exposing Atlas, Professor Nancy McLean and Amy Westervelt, who have done the same. On December the 8th in Sydney time and December the 7th New York time is a webinar titled Big Oil, Climate Disinformation and Constitutional Democracy. The link will be posted into the live stream, so please have a look at that, sign up for that and learn as much as you can. We're going to post some papers, particularly ones from Jeremy Walker, in the live stream comments, so have a look at those. And learn about the Atlas Network. This has been going on for 40 years. The fossil fuel industry has been funding that. So I'll just give you some time to read this. Notice of eviction. Case number 1. The plaintiff is Extinction Rebellion and Friends. The defendant is the Centre for Independent Studies. And we're in the Justice Court of Public Opinion. And if you can't read this, I'll read a couple out. Grounds for eviction. Through aggressive lobbying and underhand tactics such as paying so-called experts to write deliberately misleading scientific papers, push polling and astroturfing, the Atlas Network has deliberately set back necessary action on climate change to such a degree that we're now in a full-blown climate crisis. So join us, sign up, listen, read. Here we are. This message. Atlas Network selling climate collapse. Stop your propaganda. For those who aren't aware of the Centre for Independent Studies, Sorry about that, folks. There's some quite agitated people around. Police have just arrived. So we'll just see what's going on there. Okay. So they've got Trish. And they've just got Mai. Okay, I'll just move back to Trish, see what's happening there. So if you've got any doubt about the links of these groups to fossil fuel industries, the Centre for Independent Studies was started with grants from Santos, BHP, Shell, Rio Tinto, Western Mining and News Corp's Adelaide Advertiser. Those links have been there since day one. The links are strong and the links continue. The Atlas network is all about protecting fossil fuel interests. Okay, so Mai's got a lot of attention. Looks like Trish is okay. Yep. Okay, we'll stand back here and have a look. So just recapping, if you're just joining us, Extinction Rebellion South Australia, we're here at the Centre for Independent Studies, which is part of the global Atlas network. It's a network of right-wing think tanks. Their design is pure and simple: protect the interests of the fossil fuel industry. They will have overrun COP28. They will have manipulated the decisions that are coming out of there. They constantly undermine any attempts to take action on climate change. They are behind this. Currently a protest up in Martin Place opposing wind farms. The Atlas network released bogus research information to say that wind farms kill whales, and that is absolute bullshit. There's no scientific fact in it. But people are head up, they love their whales and they want them protected. So make no mistake, these people are dangerous. I hope some of you managed to ring this Centre for Independent Studies and tell them to come down. Eviction notices are being removed. They're refusing to be evicted. But people power is going to stop them. We've just got to turn and rebel against them. Have to see through what they're doing. Tom Switzer's disappeared. Didn't like being called out.
People need to be aware of the Centre of Independence and the Atlas network. They're undermining our democracy through propaganda.
Sure, be mine.
They're undermining our democracy.
Police have just made a decision to leave the banners there. They pulled this one down at the front. they've left this one on the outside. Plainclothes police and uniformed police. So awesome, thanks for watching everyone. I can't see everybody, sorry I didn't acknowledge you. Police are taking photographs of our handiwork. See what's happening to Mai. So they've got Mai in there. It looks like they're going to take her. Love you, Mai.
One person.
They've got two. Got two. Okay folks, I'm just going to close this off here. I think there's a little bit of interest in what I'm doing, so I'll close it off. Or I'll step away a bit and keep it a bit smaller distance. Here we are. So just recapping, if you've just joined us, Extinction Rebellion South Australia, we're here in Sydney, in Quarry Street. We're outside the offices of the Centre for Independent Studies. So this is a protest about their ongoing confusion, dilution, lies about climate change and imminent climate collapse, and they take money for it. They don't do their charitable status, they don't disclose who their donors are. We don't know where the donations are coming from. If you're really concerned, I'll give you an example of what they've done recently. We had a referendum about a voice to Parliament, and I'm not saying yes or no was the right answer. What I am saying is that this group provided funding through to, I might have to finish.